Hello, sorry it's been a long time since I've last posted. I am in grad school currently, and this past semester has been a little bit of a challenge, but I've learned a lot from it and I've made it through. So now I'm here to post again on the channel. I want to first just say there are people working on my house outside. My dog is always coming in shots and wanting to go outside when I'm filming, so you may hear some background noise, and for that I apologize. I will cover more of my keratoconus life updates in another video, but for this video I want to do the Keratoconus Q A part 2. So that is what we will be covering, and if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kelly. I have keratoconus. I have had a transplant in my right eye and corneal cross-linking in my left eye. And this channel is just about my eye disease and the journey through its treatment options. So, welcome, and I hope you enjoyed this video. The first question that I'm going to be answering is from Anna. Thank you, Anna, for your wonderful comments and question. And the question is, do I still see blurry without my glasses or contacts in the eye that I've received the corneal cross-linking on? And the answer to that is yes. So with corneal cross-linking, it is not to correct vision at all. It is merely to stop the progression of the disease. So yes, it doesn't correct for your vision at all. I still see blurry in my left eye without glasses and contacts, and same goes for my right eye, which is the transplanted eye. Even though the transplant is helping replace tissue that has been scarred and that has been overly thinned, it doesn't correct for normal impairment of vision. So I still have some astigmatism and I still require glasses and contacts. The second question is from Emma. Hi Emma, good to hear from you again. And the question is, do I experience lens flare and eye irritation when driving at night from the headlights? And I would say, yes, I do experience that. And I try to do what your mom has suggested, which is to look at the opposite side of the road. So if the cars are coming this way, I look at the opposite direction of the road to avoid being blinded by the lights. Sometimes it doesn't really work. It depends on the street that I'm driving on, and particularly smaller streets that aren't as well lit tend to bug me more than larger streets. A way that I have avoided that is I'm a new driver and I hadn't been super comfortable driving on the highway, but recently I decided to go on the highway instead of the smaller roads to avoid being blinded by the headlights. So that was my way of getting around it, because the cars on the opposite side of the road were much further away. Next question I'm going to answer is from Schwabe. Thank you, Schwabe, for your wonderful question. The first question that Schwabe asked was how old I am. I am currently 25 years old. I was 23 at the time of my transplant, and I was 24 at the time of my corneal cross-linking. I know that age affects the eye disease and the way that it progresses, and usually by our 30s and 40s it evens off, but now in our 20s it's still progressing, and that's why I chose to get the corneal cross-linking. The second question is about eye sensitivity with lights, and I also am very light sensitive and was worried about the light for the corneal cross-linking procedure, because yeah, you do have to keep your eyes still the whole time, and I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to do that. But they do have the apparatus that opens your eye and keeps it open, so that helps because you're unable to move it around. And the light has a particular point that you're supposed to look at. I will say that for me, it wasn't as bright as I thought it was going to be. It was worst when the drops were being put into my eye. That's when it kind of stung and was uncomfortable. But as far as the light sensitivity goes, I was able to manage it because of the equipment that I used. The next question I'm going to answer is from White Rose. Thank you for your questions and comments, White Rose. I was asked what my current visual acuity is, and as I've stated in previous videos, I'm usually not very comfortable giving you a visual acuity measure because I'm not so sure myself. It's been a little bit of time since I've last gone to an appointment and have been tested for my vision. But the last that I knew, I was able to be corrected to 20/20 in my left eye and 20/30 in my right eye, maybe 20/40 in my right eye, but I think it was 20/30 in my right eye. So it's not perfect, and that is with glasses and contacts. It's not perfect, but it's much better than it was, and it is to the point where I am able to drive now. So that was my main concern, and now that I've had it corrected, it has made a vast improvement. The next questions I'm going to answer are from Marshall. The first question was about my current vision in my transplanted eye. Again, I don't really have that answer. I don't generally tend to read without my glasses or contacts, but it's a lot better than what it was. When I went into this process, I was legally blind in my right eye, and now when I covered my eye, I can kind of make out. I'm using photo booth on my computer, and it's a small window right now. I can kind of make out the words photo booth, but they are still a little bit blurry. Are there any physical restrictions? Not that I know of right now. I've just been living life as I normally would. I have been skating. I still sleep on my stomach, even though I shouldn't be, probably. I don't think that there are any super implemented physical restrictions, none that I had been told by my doctor. And what is the vision like in my cross-linking eye? I believe it's corrected to 20/20 in my left eye with glasses and contacts. And then, how long after could you drive or do normal activities? So I didn't drive until just this year, so I can't answer that one, but do normal activities, I want to say maybe 3 months. I know there were restrictions, so if you were asking about restrictions right after the transplant, you weren't supposed to lift over 25 pounds for a while, and then it was raised to 50. You weren't supposed to swim. You weren't supposed to do any super strenuous activity for a while. You were supposed, right after the transplant, you weren't supposed to bend below your knees because of the pressure in your eye. Those were some restrictions right after the transplant. And yeah, it took a few months because they started removing stitches and just had to make sure that the pressure was evened out and that it was healing naturally. And then, is there an email that you can reach me at? Yes, there is. Let me think of which one that would be, because I have a few. I will put that in a comment. I will pin it. Actually, I'll put it in the description of this video. I have also been asked by Murugesh to make a video or talk about tips regarding pre and post surgery instructions or tips. As for pre-surgery instructions or tips, that would be listed in my corneal cross-linking video. Sorry, the lighting got really weird. So that is in my cross-linking video. And as far as the transplant, that also might be kind of in my video. I am going to make a separate video for that. I am so sorry that I missed the date for your transplant. As I said, I've just been really, really busy, and I didn't want to let my YouTube go by the wayside, but I had to focus on school and work first. I hope you understand, and I will make that video as soon as possible. I am out of school for the semester, so I will probably make one of those videos, probably, combined video of them this weekend. The next question is from Katrina. Thank you, Katrina, for your question. And you asked what my current vision is or how my vision is now. I have kind of touched on that in a couple of the previous questions, but I think an important question that you asked along with that is, can you live a productive life? And to that, I will say from my experience, definitely. I know that some people's experience with the disease might be a little bit more difficult than mine is, but I had pretty far advanced keratoconus in my right eye, and I was legally blind in that eye. For a while, it was hard to get around. I was more anxious. I've done a lot of research on the topic for my grad school program, and visual impairments cause people to be a little bit more anxious and deal with more mental issues, which I found to be true for myself. I had a harder time getting places because I didn't have transportation. And now that I've had my transplant and my cross-linking, I am driving, so I am more independent. I'm feeling less anxious. I am feeling happier and more confident as a person, and I am able to do all the things that I love. I am able to skate, which is a pretty strenuous sport, and I'm still able to do that. As I said, I'm able to drive now. I am in grad school, and I am being able to manage all of the reading since it's an online program. I used to use the audio or the teachers as a way of listening to the information and doing well in my studies, but with the online program, I haven't been able to do that. But I have been able to manage with keratoconus. I've had practicum, which is like an internship experience this past semester, and I was able to manage that. And I've been working from home online. So, and that's not even a necessity. You could definitely work in a normal setting. The reason why I chose to work online was I didn't get my driving license until about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I figured it was more productive to have an online job instead of wasting money on an Uber or a Lyft to get to a job and then basically not have a paycheck because of that. So yes, I definitely think that you can live a normal life and be productive at it as well. So thank you for your question. That is a very important question to ask. Okay, so the last question I'm going to answer is from Joseph. He had mentioned that one of his eyes, his transplant eye, changed color after the surgery from brown to blue. Personally, that has not happened to me. My eye color has stayed the same. My eyes are green and they have remained green, and no changes have been seen in my eyes. However, I have heard of this happening before. I think I've heard of it happening with the cross-linking as well. So it is not uncommon, or maybe it is uncommon, but it's not unheard of to happen, if that's what you're wondering. So yes, it is a possibility. So those are the questions that I'm going to answer for today. Thank you so much for leaving them. And thank you to everyone who left me comments as well. I really appreciate it. I am so grateful to have all of you here on my channel, and I am so happy to make these videos for you. Again, I am so sorry that it's been so long. I am free during holiday break now, and next semester I don't have a practicum site to go to. I will be busy again, but I will have more time to make more videos, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you guys. Bye.